Hi everyone. In this presentation I am going to explain new concept, that is synthesis and reaction of amino acids. Before going to study about the synthesis of amino acid, first we will discuss about some basic concepts about amino acids. See, when hydrolyzed acids, alkalis or enzymes, proteins yield a mixture of amino acids. Then what are amino acids? Which are the organic compounds which contains both amine and carboxylic functional groups along with a side chain. Here we are representing it by R. Here R may be alkyl or aryl group, which depends on specific to each amino acids. Since these amino acids which contains both amino and carboxylic groups, means it acts as a both base and acid. Here amino group acts as a basic in nature and carboxylic groups which are in acidic in nature. Hence these amino acids are amphitoric in nature. See, here you are observing that here R is a side chain. It may be alkyl or aryl groups, may be short or long chains. It depends on the each amino acids. Here this NH2, this is the amino group, and here COOH, this is the carboxylic group. Next, this is the classification of amino acids. I will discuss only few concepts about this classification. Here we have 25 amino acids, all which except 2 are alpha amino acids. Means out of 25 amino acids, in that 23 are alpha amino acids. The two exceptions are proline and hydroxyproline, which are amino acids. Here 10 of the amino acids are essential acids, that is a deficiency in any one prevents growth in young animals and may even cause death. The amino acids are classified here. See, some amino acids are represented by letters G, L and E. Here G represents the general occurrence, L represents the lesser occurrence, and E means any amino acids which are represented by E after its name, then these are essential to man, means that amino acids are very essential to the human beings. There are 20 amino acids of general occurrence, that is they are usually found in all proteins. However, plants, microorganisms and antibiotics excreted by these organisms have continued to provide new amino acids of diverse structure. Next, come to the preparation part. First method is through the amination of alpha halogenated acids. Here we are taking an alpha chloro or bromo acid. It is treated with concentrated ammonia, then we will get respective amino acids. This is the respective amino acids. This method is convenient for the preparation of these amino acids. Example: glycine, alanine, serine, threonine, valine, leucine and lysine. These are the amino acids which can be synthesized by this method. Next one is the Gabriel's phthalimide synthesis. The yield obtained by the above method, means in the first method, are variable because of side reactions. Means from the first method we will get the byproducts, or it may undergoes side reaction. So we are going to obtain these amino acids through Gabriel's phthalimide synthesis. Here it is a chemical reaction that transforms primary alkyl halides into primary amines. Traditionally, the reaction uses potassium phthalimide, hence it is called Gabriel phthalimide synthesis. Next, through Curtius reaction. In this reaction, heating the azide in ethanol yields the ethyl carbonate via the Curtius rearrangement. Here, acid hydrolysis yields the amine from the carbonate and the carboxylic acid from the nitrile simultaneously. Hence, it gives the product called amino acids. See, in this method, we can synthesize alpha amino acids. Those are all glycine, alanine, valine and phenylalanine. Next one is through the Darbatsky method. Here, this is introduced during the year of 1936. In this method, an aldehyde is condensed with ethyl cyanoacetate and simultaneously hydrogenated. The product, an alkyl cyanoacetic ester, is then treated with ethanol. So at the end we will get the different amino acid. Here or maybe any alkyl or aryl group. It mainly depends on the starting materials, which type of aldehydes we are taking during the reaction. Next, by a reduction of alpha ketonic acids. Here, amino acids may be prepared by reducing alpha ketonic acids in the presence of ammonia. The reduction may be performed catalytically or with sodium and ethanol. The mechanism of the reaction is not certain, but it probably occurs via the amino acid. From this method, we can synthesize alanine and glutamic acid. Next, come to the Osler-Cloton synthesis. Through this method, we can synthesize some amino acids. Here, azolactones are usually prepared by heating an aromatic aldehyde with uric acid, that is also called benzoglycine, in the presence of acetic anhydride and sodium acetate. So we will get the respective amino acids. Example, here we are taking benzaldehyde. It reacts with the uric acid or benzoglycosine in the presence of acetic anhydride and sodium acetate. We will get the alpha aminocinamic azolactone. From this method, we can synthesize phenylalanine, tyrosine, tryptophan and thyroxine amino acid. Next, come to the reaction of amino acids. First one is reaction due to the amino group. Already we know about that amino acids contains both amino and carboxyl groups. So due to the presence of amino acids, what are the reaction takes place? First one is it forms as salts with strong inorganic acids. See, any amino acids, if it reacts with salts which forms the strong inorganic acids, example like this. So it is soluble in water because it forms the salt, hence it is easily soluble in water, and a free acid liberated by means of strong organic base, that is pyridine. And due to the presence of amino group, that is NH2, this nitrous acid liberates nitrogen from amino acids. Next, this nitrous acid liberates a nitrogen from amino acids. The nitrogen is evaluated quantitatively, and this forms the basis of the Van-Slyke method analyzing the mixture of amino acids. Next one is reaction due to the carboxyl group. What happens with the presence of carboxylic groups in amino acids, how they are reacts with other reagents. First one is amino acids forms a salt. That salts of the heavy metals are chelate compound. Example, the copper salt of the glycine is formed by heating copper oxide with an aqueous solution of glycine. See, if any amino acids which forms the salts, if that salts reacts with the copper, it reacts with any heavy metals, it forms the chelate compounds, that is, it forms the complex with that metal. Next, when heated with an, means any amino acids which are heated with an alcohol in the presence of dry hydrogen chloride, amino acids form a ester hydrochlorides. Example, this is the example. Here this is considered, this is a amino acid which is heated with alcohol in the presence of HCl. So these amino acids form a ester hydrochloride. Next one is when heated, means when heating any amino acids with acetic anhydride in a pyridine solution, amino acids are converted into methyl alpha acetamido ketone. This reaction is often referred to as the Dakin-West reaction. Next one is through a dry distillation or better by heating with barium oxide, decarboxylates amino acids to amine. Means if any amino acids are heated with barium oxide, it gives the dicarboxylates of amino acids to amines. Next, what happens due to the presence of both amino and carboxyl groups in amino acids? So in aqueous, the dipolar moment of amino acids have larger values. So glycine exists in solution as an inner salt. Such a double charge is called zwitterion or ampholyte or dipolar ion. So in aqueous solution, here we are observing in an aqueous solution, in a neutral solution, an amino acid will be presented as follows, which are in equilibrium. See, the position of this equilibrium mainly depends on the pH of the solution. In acid solution, the conjugate acid predominating in such a way that in alkaline solution, the conjugate base predominating. For each amino acid, there is a particular pH value at which the concentration of the dipolar ion is a maximum. Hence, its net charge is 0. So, this pH at which migration does not occur is called the isoelectric point of that amino acid. Next, ninhydrin reaction. Ninhydrin is nothing but Indi 1,2,3 trionohydrate. It reacts with amino acids. What happens? It forms the colored product. This reaction used to identification and quantitative estimation of amino acids, because any amino acids which are reacted with ninhydrin, so it forms the colored products. Hence, we can easily identify or quantitatively analyze the amino acids. Thank you.